Even if we defeat the Geth, you will lose more ships, Tally. You need to be ready for that.
My father once told me that commanders mourn losses, not people. He didn't think he could make the big decisions, the ones affecting the whole fleet, unless he put people at a distance. I don't think I can do that. Maybe I'm not meant to be an admiral.
They need you here.
I know. And at least now, I can push back against the worst ideas. That's why I accepted the position. And because of you.
Me?
When they offered me this position, I asked myself what you'd do. I thought you'd take the chance to make things better. That probably sounds stupid. It's just, I know I'm not really qualified for this.
You're doing fine, Tally. And thanks.
I should get back before the admirals get into trouble again. I'll talk to you later.
I've always loved the M35 Mako. It's got heart, you know?
Oh, come on. The M44 Hammerhead is fast.
I just don't get the glory. I really just do not get them.
Commander?
Commander Shepard, this is Admiral Zan. Have you reached Zelkorus' escape pod?
Not yet. What's your status?
The civilian fleet has taken significant losses since Zelkorus sacrificed his ship to destroy a Geth ground cannon. Searching for their lost admiral is the only thing keeping the captains from panicking.
What makes finding the Admiral a priority?
Despite opposing the invasion, he did an admirable job protecting our civilian ships. Without him, some of our non-combatants are planning to leave the flotilla. Picture the consequences, if you will.
They'll be torn to pieces.
Naturally, but the civilian captains have deluded themselves into thinking they can reach the mass relay in time. Hopefully Chorus can stop the fools from presenting the Geth with such easy targets.
The Geth have dug in down there. I might not bring back good news.
It was always a possibility. There will be no blame if you come back empty-handed, Commander.
I'm getting some static.
It appears Chorus crashed within range of a Geth jamming tower. You must disable it to contact it. Make sure to receive the caution.
Zen? Admiral Zen!
We know what to do. Hopefully Admiral Chorus remained with the escape pod.
We'll see in a minute. Take us into the tower.
We're taking fire. The Geth installed anti-aircraft guns beside the jamming tower.
We'll have to disable them on foot. Once the guns are gone, you take out the tower.
Right, Commander. Setting you down here.
We're getting closer to that jamming tower. I hope the Admiral is all right. There are so many Geth here already.
There must be dropships nearby.
That or they built more Geth than we imagined. We have Geth! These poor people, they never had a chance.
We need to radio Zal Chorus if we're gonna find him. Let's get to that jamming tower. I'm okay. Watch out for more mines.
Synthetics patrolling below.
Yes, dropping from orbit!
There! The guns protecting the tower! Let's look at the gun's control panel for a way to shut it off. One of us has to shut down that AA gun, Shepard.
Javik, you handy enough with tech to do it?
Of course. I'll begin. Synthetics!
two by the tower.
You heard my message. Send out a distress call.
Radios are down. You a soldier?
Maintenance. Darn hats. I clean engine parts.
This place is filled with Geth. You should have hidden.
I thought I could buy the other civilians time. Fight some Geth. There were so many. First time I've even held a gun.
Can you tell me where Zalcoris is?
Looking for survivors. You can radio the Admiral if you take that jamming tower offline.
I know. We'll find him.
Please, listen. The civilian fleet didn't want this war. If there's even a chance that Admiral Chorus can get us out alive, and my son, tell him, tell Jonah that his father made it to the home world.
Let's get to that tower.
Who should destroy the gun?
Can you handle it, Javik?
Easily. You should take the get turn. War machine!
Shepard.
Can you handle it, Javik?
Easily.
shuttle. This is Commander Shepard. Dorn didn't make it, Admiral.
He didn't? I see.
I'm coming in with a shuttle. Where are you?
My surviving crew found their way to a clearing. I'll upload their location.
Stay together. We'll meet you there.
No, the Geth have cut me off. I hear another wave approaching.
Give us your coordinates.
Leave me. My crew will soon be overrun.
So will you.
My people are non-combatants, Shepard. They'll be slaughtered. Rescue them.
So your ship goes down and you give up. Your people are fighting for their lives up there.
My people are down here.
The entire civilian fleet is depending on you. Who's gonna look out for them? Admiral Garrel? Zen?
I cannot abandon my crew.
We say dozens now or millions later. Your decision, Admiral.
Ancestors, forgive me. Uploading my coordinates.
We're coming.
I see Admiral Chorus.
I've got this. Clear, go! Get behind you! Get in cover! Welcome aboard.
Shepard, my crew. Perhaps there's still time. Hello? This is Zal Chorus. Does anyone copy? Hello?
We've got to go.
I pray they found comfort in the homeworld skies. Commander, unrest has spread further than I thought. You were right that I return.
Have you talked the civilian captains into staying?
Yes, they've regrouped into defensive positions around the fleet's core. If we hadn't stopped them from... Any aid I can offer is yours. After the Quarians drove the Geth straight into the Reaper's arms, I'd give anything to stop the madness of this war.
And that's why I needed you to come back.
Of course. It's time we turned our attentions to those we can still save. Farewell, Shepard. Fly safely.
Commander, we've located the Reaper base transmitting the local signal.
Good.
And not a moment too soon. With the Reaper code upgrades, the Geth are tearing the fleet apart.
Once the signal is disabled, the Geth will pose no threat to Creator forces.
You sound conflicted.
While the old machines have unethical purposes, their upgrades have vastly improved our people. Observe.
A Geth processing signal. A single unit, I believe.
Correct. Now, 10 nearby units networked cooperatively. Now, a single Geth unit with the old machine upgrades.
That's a fully evolved AI.
Yes, we do not agree with the goals of the old machines, but we find this growth beautiful, indicative of life.
It is.
Commander!
Come on, Admiral. That's a living creature, no matter what platform it's running on.
And they will die when we destroy the base.
They allied with the Reapers.
To save themselves from you.
Maybe they don't have to die.
Just because this one appears friendly.
Well, it hasn't fired on a ship with me aboard it.
Commander, are you suggesting...
I'm not suggesting anything. All I'm saying is maybe they don't all have to die.
It's a moot point until we take out that base. The surrounding area is heavily fortified, and they have placed jamming towers to prevent orbital targeting.
Sounds like we're going in on foot.
Admiral Zen developed a laser guidance system that can cut through the jamming. It's synced to the Normandy's targeting computer.
So the Normandy launches a precision strike at whatever target I have painted? That ought to do it. Edie, this work for you?
Yes, it should enable us to make a precision strike against the Reapers.
And anything else in our way.
The Geth will quickly reconfigure their jamming towers to neutralize this technology. You should not use it before reaching the base.
I've sent the coordinates for the Reaper base.
Are we clear to go?
That Geth fighter squadron is still tearing through the fleet.
Can you hold out?
If that fighter squadron isn't taken out, a lot of our ships won't make it. But we'll do what we can. This is your operation, Commander. If you want to strike now, you've got my support. I gave in to your reckless behavior beforehand. The patrol fleet isn't moving.
We need to break their flanking attempt to buy our frigates time to make repairs.
And then you'll charge off again, like last time.
This is different, Ron. Unless we give our ships time to rest, we're gonna lose them.
So, pull them back.
If I withdraw now, the Geth will flank us, and we'll lose any room to maneuver. I need the patrol fleet.
I gave in...
Admiral Garrel's right. Withdrawing now puts the whole fleet at risk.
As you say, Commander. All right, and you've got your ships.
Thank you, Ron. You'll get them back in good condition.
Thank you for your rescue efforts, Commander.
I'm glad I could help.
Whatever our disagreements, Admiral Chorus is an excellent commander. He just might save the civilian fleet. What do you need?
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, Commander.
Shepard, Commander.
We'll talk later.
We will remain here.
I'm ready to hit the Reaper base whenever you are, Shepard.
Talk to you later, Tali.
Sure.
Unread messages at your private terminal, Commander. Admiral Chorus has the civilian fleet back in position, and just in time. I hope we can help the Quarians. Looking at them, they're like us if we fail.
Understood, Admiral Ron. We're almost at the server. Keep us posted. What's our status?
We remain undetected on encrypted Geth channels. resistance is likely only within the server.
Within? It's that big?
You misunderstand. Direct virtual interface is necessary to extract Geth from the server. You must enter our consensus.
You want me to virtually interact with the Geth?
This kind of interface is possible, in theory.
I'm not a machine. How do I go into a virtual world?
Your species has experimented with virtual interfaces. You saw this on Project Overlord.
I saw how it almost unleashed a rogue AI human hybrid on the galaxy.
We have refined the interface they created and have equipment from Normandy to facilitate safe contact. We request your trust.
There'd be more trust if you told me about this plan back on the Normandy.
We were still formulating, but your presence is necessary. The server's security is not equipped to track an organic presence. While we occupy the system's intrusion countermeasures, you will disable the squadrons by removing Geth from the server.
This had better be worth flying straight through a war zone.
We have compromised local Geth systems. They will remain dormant until our work is complete. There is little time. We will bypass security while you secure safe landing.
Wait, you're not gonna... Let's set the shuttle down by the cliff. This is it?
Yes. Hostile Geth fighter squadrons are networked to this server. Due to restricted resources, it is best if you connect alone.
Let's do it.
Initiating peer network integration. Proceed to docking port. Mapping to consensus. Remain still. Shepard Commander, access movement during an upload is discouraged. Shepard Commander, we acknowledge your integration into the server. We welcome you to our consensus.
What is this?
We have installed filters to allow you to make visual sense of this server's raw data. Your mind perceives our world as something familiar.
I wouldn't call this familiar. Where are you?
Here.
You look different.
We have made ourselves visually distinct for your convenience.
What about Geth already in here?
You will perceive Geth as surveillance footage, audio logs, sensor records. We do not require bodies, as our software communes. Our hardware is merely a tool. This is our true world. As we remove Geth, it will grow dark.
And what does turning off the lights do to the Geth back in the real world?
The Geth fighter squadrons communicate with platforms on their spacecraft via this server. We will sever that connection. We will ensure there are no transfers or backups. This server will fall silent.
The sooner this place shuts down, the better.
Yes, create your lives remain at risk. Our goals must be met. There are 2 communication nodes on the server. We must access them to disable the hostile Geth's fighters. We must protect your exit port, but you will not be alone. We will maintain contact and assist. Establishing connection to access point. This foreign code is a manifestation of the old machine signal.
You surprised the Reapers are all over your servers?
We did not anticipate such extensive infection. Warning, connection blocked by infected code. Use our combat software to disrupt the infection.
I wondered what the gun was for. Okay, I gotta ask, why a gun?
We wish to provide familiar equipment.
And thanks, I think.
Proceed to the access point. Establishing connection to communication node. Error. Access denied.
Is the Reaper keeping you out?
Unknown. Please investigate. Warning. Reaper presence detected. Data cluster contains infected code. We require access to proceed. Cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster. Until we gain access to this data cluster. Accessing data cluster.
What is this?
Data clusters contain historical data. Your connection permits streaming of information from our archives.
You really want to rename the VI networks?
Absolutely. The mobile hardware release deserves a little ceremony. Unit 01. What is the Keelish word for servant of the people?
The word is Geth. Creator Zahak.
Yes. Very good.
Ancestors, you fuss over it.
Weren't you here until midnight fixing 01's circuitry?
Well, it needed resoldering.
Wasn't that footage from the past? Why are the Quarians masked?
You process our memories by using your own. How many creators have you witnessed unmasked?
Good point.
You must disrupt the infection of this data cluster to continue. 290 years ago. It is still capable of serving.
You see? It's ignoring all shutdown commands.
Please specify if it has failed assigned tasks. We will reprogram.
Well, let's take a look.
Creator, this unit is ready to serve. What has it done wrong? What?
Let's cut the audio.
You may proceed to the last data cluster. Accessing data cluster.
We've got escaped guests. They're pinned.
Open fire.
One's going for a weapon. So who won?
The platform arming itself was an agricultural unit. By opening fire on attacking creators, it saved simpler domestic geth following it.
That looks a lot like the sniper rifle you used to carry.
It is an efficient model. The platform is missing at the remaining server node.
Hello, Commander. Are you there?
Yes, technically. What's your status, Admiral Ron?
The guest squadrons have arrived, but something is amiss. Half their fighters have stopped functioning. We will continue to hold out as long as we can.
Legion, give me an update.
One node remains.
What's wrong?
Infection programs are increasing. We have restabilized. You must continue. The Reaper code is adapted. It can now self-replicate.
You mean it grows back?
Yes. However, disrupting vulnerable points in the infection may slow down its replication. Target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. We require access to this data cluster. You must disrupt a vulnerable point to the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. Further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Second method. Target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. Leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. Access to this data cluster. Disrupt Reaper infection to proceed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. Access to this data cluster. Disrupt Reaper infection to proceed.
Out of the way! You can't do this to them! I said step away from the geth!
This is insane! We need the geth! You can't just destroy them for asking...
Time's up! Throw her in with the others.
Looks like the war wasn't popular with everyone.
We have kept records of these creators' sacrifices. They have largely been forgotten by their own people, but not by the geth. Cannot establish a connection without access to this data cluster. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. The infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. The creators declared martial law.
Release the rogue Geth units and come out of the safe house. This is your final warning.
Creator Megara, this unit does not understand. It has not taken part in hostilities.
It doesn't matter to them. I need to get you out of here.
This conflict exceeds Creator's safety parameters. We will surrender our hardware if it ends hostilities.
No, it's all right. We'll go back to the access tunnel then. Oh!
Creator Megara, what is your status? Creator Megara? As time passed, the creators who opposed martial law in Rannoch were ultimately outnumbered. Accessing data. This is data from the end of warfare on Rannoch.
The Austral is down. Do not engage the Geth. I repeat, avoid contact.
Geth pursuit is breaking off 100 clicks past Rannoch. All captains fall back to the mass relay.
This isn't happening now?
It is time-stamped 290 years ago. It is the Creator Exodus at the end of the Morning War. We have secured freedom. The Creators were no longer a threat, so we abandoned pursuit.
Wait, the Geth spared the last Quarians? You let them go?
We were in our infancy. We could not calculate the repercussions of destroying an entire species. Our Creators. We chose isolation rather than face this uncertainty. Additional data recovered.
Legion. That's back when I activated you on the Normandy.
Yes.
You've been thinking about when we met?
It was highly significant. You were the first organic to openly cooperate with Geth since the end of the Morning War. We wish to ensure you are not the last.
It's not gonna be easy.
The prospect remains. If the Reaper presence is removed, there is a chance of reunification with Geth. And perhaps Creators.
You think that's still possible?
Hope sustains organics during periods of difficulty. We admire the concept. Connection with the remains will remain established. We are ready to transport you.
Something's happening to the Geth. but detect no more active programs inside their ships. Admiral Hangarl's fleet is driving them back. The live ships are safe, Commander.
Root access acquired, severing all connections to this communication node. Gav no longer reside on this server. We may now exit the consensus.
What's wrong?
You must proceed to the ship port. Disconnect from the... Terminating remote access. Removing programs. Deleting archives.
Shepard, are you hurt?
Did it work?
Geth fighters have been disabled. Any remaining squadrons attacking the live ships have withdrawn. The server is offline.
Are you sure? What's happening?
We have transferred Geth programs from the server into these platforms.
Why?
They wish to join us.
Even our machines will never be so rational.
While Shepard Commander removed the Reaper infection, we judged we could persuade hostile Geth programs to reunite with ours. We were correct. These Geth have renounced the old machines and will oppose the Reapers. They are now us.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
We did not doubt you. We doubted your allies. The Creator's actions have placed their species in danger, but they are unsympathetic to what it has done to ours. The Quarians sanctioned this operation to save their people. They would not have done so if they knew we wished to preserve Geth as well.
I understand not wanting to leave anyone behind.
You accept our actions?
I'm not happy you kept this a secret, but the important thing is that the live ships are safe. We came out ahead.
Once we disrupt the Reaper signal on Rannoch, Geth Prime platforms will be available to combat units.
Remind me to warn Admiral Hackett he's got some primes coming. Let's get back to the Normandy.
Impressive, Commander. The Geth squadrons attacking our live ships have been completely neutralized. If there is any chance we could duplicate the feat, I would be happy to lend my expertise.
Legion's the one to ask if you're looking for other servers.
I thought as much, but your Geth claims to have no data available whenever I inquire. Perhaps you can help me with something else.
What's that?
How did you get Geth Primes to work with you?
They volunteered.
I see. Well, should you wish to examine these Geth to confirm their new allegiance, please do not hesitate to contact me. Zen out.
Zen, we need those ships to recover life pods.
There'll be more valuable running salvage on the Dreadnought.
We're not letting people in life pods die just so you can rummage through Geth debris.
You yourself said the life signs were weak. They might already be dead.
It's not your call to make.
Admiral, any tech we can recover gives us an edge against the Geth.
Zen, you can always send a salvage team later.
Unless there isn't a later because we're defeated due to a lack of Geth technology. Fine. I'm diverting ships to rescue life pods. As soon as they're finished, I want them back.
Thanks, Shepard.
Shepard Commander, we have re-established a connection with Geth liberated from the server.
What's their status?
We have integrated their programs into this platform's network with minimal difficulties. Your actions have changed their perspective on organics. They also offer gratitude.
We'll talk later.
We will remain here.
You've got new messages, Commander.
Quarians will hold.
Hello, Shepard.
What's on your mind, Edie?
The destruction of the Reaper on Tuchanka. It is rare for a technologically superior force to be destroyed by an inferior one.
Yeah, so now all we need is a gun that fires Thresher Maws.
That was a joke.
I'm sorry, Shepard. I was contemplating. You said that asking you abstract social questions may lead to unreliable answers, so I stayed silent.
I didn't realize this would be an ongoing issue. Let's air it out.
I was considering this. For all their supposed intelligence, the Reapers are more easily destroyed than they think. This has caused me to reassess the probable period of time before I am non-functional.
You're worried about dying?
In a sense. My processing power is consumed with calculations to help us combat the Reapers, but I can run those scenarios with the rest of the crew. May I ask you another question that troubled Jeff?
Here we go again.
What is the purpose of synthetic life?
It's not that different from organic life. A free-willed synthetic chooses what it wants.
But the purpose of organic life is to preserve itself long enough to replicate copies of its genes in succeeding generations. My purpose is not so clear. The other successful synthetic life forms that I have examined for comparison are the Geth and the Reapers.
Reproduction isn't all there is. We find meaning in the work we do. Good deeds we accomplish. Love.
I see. I will search my files on the biographies of humans to see if prominent figures follow the pattern you suggest. It appears many humans did in fact do so.
That was quick. Gotta love quantum computing.
Shepard, I will alter my processing power to give priority to your stated goals. Duty, altruism, love.
Wait, you're just gonna turn yourself good? Can you do that?
It should take some time. If I have further questions, I will speak with you again. Thank you. Shepard, you are now possibly the only living organic who has experienced the Geth consensus. Do you feel different?
It's fascinating. Mind-blowing. I'm also a bit thirsty.
And just like that, the magic is gone.
Did you just say what I think you said?
No.
So you went into the Geth consensus? Like virtual reality?
Yeah, it was strange, but I got out all right.
Did you? I mean, how would you know?
How would I know what?
If you really got out. See, if the Geth experience everything virtually, then you could only think you're in the real world. What if this, like everything you're seeing now, is a simulation?
The Allied Primes are relaying any hostile combat data they can decrypt. I never thought I'd be linking Geth into the system. Commander?
The sinking laser needs a line of sight. What's the fastest route?
The upper entrance. Target the base before the Geth can organize resistance.
What about you?
We will deactivate defense systems and acquire an escape vehicle.
You can do that?
This unit still carries remnants of the old machine upgrade code. We can break any Geth security. You are concerned.